Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease in which the pancreas stops making insulin. And this is usually due to the body making antibodies against the pancreas, which then attack the pancreas so it does not work correctly and the body does not make insulin. Children with type 1 diabetes have to work really hard with their families to get good control of their diabetes. As soon as they get up, they're going to check their sugar. When they go to eat breakfast, they're going to count the carbohydrates and determine then how much insulin they have to take for breakfast.
How do you feel? Good. Okay, you want to start eating? Okay. We found out that Walker had type 1 diabetes in 2008. He was 17 months old. It was pretty dramatic. We were in LA for the 2008 NBA Finals. The Celtics versus the Lakers. Ray was playing for the Celtics at the time. He'd never won an NBA championship. And we were all pretty excited. There was about 35 of us, our family. And the guys flew out Monday morning early on the team plane, and then the Celtics chartered a jet for the families. And I remember when we landed that Walker threw up everywhere. And I remember somebody saying, "Gosh, is Walker sick?" And I thought, no, I mean, maybe the flight was a little bit bumpy, but I wasn't concerned. But then as the week went on, it became evident that there was something wrong with him.
Anybody with type 1 diabetes must take insulin. And the insulin can be given either by a syringe, an insulin pen, or via an insulin pump. People who have undiagnosed diabetes frequently urinate. They may complain about blurred vision. If the sugar continues to rise, they may end up having stomach pain and vomiting. They may become very lethargic, may even become unconscious or go in a coma if they're not treated in time.
It was a typical day for me. I was playing the NBA Finals, not really so typical, but it was a game day, and we have been dealing with, just him being sick throughout the week. And I told Shannon the night before to go to the doctor, take him to the doctor the next day and just check on him, get him checked out.
So when we got in, everybody at the hospital was, very nice, but no one was convinced that he was sick. And the attending physician in the ICU had said several times to me, he's a little limp, but, this isn't a sick kid. Those were her exact words. And I thought, well, my son's kind of a wild man, so if he was normal, he would be tearing your lobby up. And right now, he's doing close to nothing. So she gave him an examination and couldn't find anything wrong with him. And she was getting ready to discharge us. And I remembered the hotel concierge doctor, and I said, "Listen, before you let us go, could you please just give him a blood test?" And she came back 20 minutes later, and she was crying. And she said, "I don't even know how to tell you this." And I said, "Well, tell me, whatever it is, I can handle it." And she said, "Your blood sugar is supposed to be between 80 and 120, and Walker's is 639. He has type 1 diabetes, and he's entered a phase called ketoacidosis, which means his blood sugar is poisoning him to death. If you don't give this kid insulin soon, you're gonna lose him."
I was getting ready to go to my meeting because we had an early game, and I was going to a meeting, and she called me and told me that he had something, and I was like, "Whatever it is, just tell me, we'll figure it out." And she told me he had diabetes.
So we're almost at school, and this is our daily routine. Every day, really. I think one of the things that people don't know about type 1 is that it's an all-day thing for everyone in the family.
You talk about, one of the basic ideas of human life is sleeping. And we don't sleep the way we did, obviously, before it. We naturally just get up and say, we gotta go check Walker, because we're always so worried about it. So your hand is always just kind of on the throttle trying to figure out, which direction you need to go on with him. And, and no opportunity or no point in time do you really get the sleep that you possibly think that you want or need, because you're always worried about him.
I count my blessings every day that he's here, and that we live in a time where there's insulin and test strips and amazing doctors, and where they're actively looking for a cure. But manageable means that he still is dependent on insulin for the rest of his life. And with that, there are a lot of serious potential side effects. And that's the thing that keeps me up at night. I have to constantly stay on it. Ray and I do. And when he's at school, we rely so much on his teachers. They really are they're our eyes and ears. I love you. Who's my favorite weenie? Yep. Have a good day.
So Walker arrives about 8:05. He always brings with him his diabetes bag and a snack bag, so he places the snack bag in the back, and he'll place his diabetes bag. He actually has a special little pack on the back of his chair. Places it there, he'll get started with his morning work, and then it's off to PE we go. The bag goes with us everywhere. We take that diabetes kit with us, which has his testing strips, his monitor, and it'll have a juice box in it just in case his numbers start to fall. So once we come back from PE, Walker will do a test to check his blood sugar levels.
Is it crazy?
Today.
That's not bad. You want to have a juice box?
That's right here now.
Do you feel like you're going to go lower? You're about to have snack. You don't need a Sprite.
Just box?
Yes.
Right. Dude, he wants to stay. I know.
I'm amazed at the dedication of Walker's mom. I mean, I'm a mom too, and I can understand why she is here all the time. At the beginning of the school year, she did not leave our classroom. Not that she was in it, but she was right outside the classroom. And I just think she never gets a day off because she constantly has to worry about him, even though he's very self-aware. He's very aware of how he feels, and he'll say, I feel shaky. And then, okay, well, we're going to test because we're on our way to lunch. He goes, no, I feel shaky. And that means we need to test right then. So I've also learned how self-aware he is for such a young boy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Walker Allen.
How old are you, Walker?
I am 6 years old.
What grade are you in?
I am first grade.
What do you like to do?
I like to play basketball.
Do you want to play in the NBA one day?
Yes,
Who's your favorite basketball player?
Dad.
I know you have to check yourself, your blood, right? Sometimes during the day.
Yeah.
Could you tell me about that? How do you do it?
I have a needle, and I have like this kind of pricker. Pricks my finger, and it goes into, like a piece of cardboard or something, and then it takes my number. The good numbers are usually like in between 989 and 299.
Those are the good numbers.
Yeah. Not so good numbers are like 300, 400, 500. FIVE2 TETWENTY. No. FIVE TWINTY. Northern. Orange, peaches.
Rocky, you know better than that.
I know better than that.
There was a morning that we woke up a little bit late, like we didn't wake up at 7:45, we woke up at 8:45, and Walker's blood sugar had tanked a little bit. And between the last check, which we probably did at like 6:30, he was blind. He was completely blind, he couldn't see us. And his muscles had atrophied, and he was a baby, so we were like, Walkie, are you okay? And his eyes were closed, and he kept going like this, ha, 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 because I don't know, he was like in so much pain, and his muscles were completely asleep, almost like a Charlie horse on every part of his body. And Ray and I looked at each other like, what is this? Like, is this worse than diabetes? Is this his body giving out on him? No one had prepared us for that moment. We didn't know what was going on. But Ray was like, quick, check him. And I checked him, and his blood sugar was 27 or 37, maybe 37. So there's this emergency kit you have in your diabetes bag, and it's called glucagon. It's like an EpiPen for type 1 diabetics, and you have to have it as a parent because EMTs don't carry it. I mean, you're responsible for saving your own child's life. Boys, dinner! Ray, come wash your hands! Sit down. You focus on what we have to do right now.
No. I want the Christmas shirt.
Okay, give me your phone.
I want the Christmas shirt. That's so cool. It's a shirt, not a jersey. I'm gonna get so much jerseys at that store. My mom buys me.
It's against the law to throw syringes away in the regular garbage pail because it's bad for the environment. Those are Walker's syringes for 1 week. These are Walker's syringes since the beginning of the year. That's 5 to 7 injections every day for the past 6 years and for the rest of his life until there's a cure.
One of the blessings about being a part of the diabetes community is so many other families who have children that are stricken with the disease. So you get welcomed into a community of people that are, very philanthropic. There's programs in place all over the community, and we've had the opportunity to meet those people and line up with them and try to figure out ways to fight, raise money.
Diabetes in general is the pandemic of our time. 1 out of 3 people on the planet are affected by it. But there are 2 million people living with this every single day, and it's absolutely curable, but it's never going to get cured if somebody doesn't step up and use their voice and people don't start raising money for research for a cure. So, Ray and I sat on our bed with Walker, and it was right after the diagnosis, and we decided as a family that we were going to take this on and we were going to tell people about it.
What's our job? To raise our voices, to stand together, to raise money, so that we can get them better treatment. We can prevent type 1 diabetes, and we can get them their cure, right?
All the kids to know that we have your backs and we're fighting, every inch of the way to try and find a cure.
And that's the thing that gives me real hope, and you should have real hope too, but I would also say you're not alone. And we can't do it alone. So whatever way that's in your power to help, do it.
Find hope and never give up.